Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host with the most, B-Boy 7th Street. You guys can't tell by my suits and the title. I am now and officially a amateur beekeeper. This is gonna be my third inspection. I got my hive back there. I just don't want to do this intro and disturb them more than I'm going to be disturbing them doing this inspection. And I just want to kind of show you guys this chapter of my life. You watch one Joe Rogan video, the YouTube algorithm takes over, and then you're a beekeeper. I wanted to beekeep for a few reasons. One, I'm going to put a clip right now, and I just thought this was like pure heaven. I just really like the bees and the dogs and the flowers, and they really do help pollinate. I have apple trees and other plants that you need pollinators. 2, I like honey. 3, I once stepped on a bee as a kid, and this is kind of like Batman's origin story. He fell in a well. There's a bunch of bats. He got very traumatized, but then he eventually used that fear for strength. And yeah, I really do believe in acupuncture, because I stepped on a bee and I hear one flying around me. Luckily, I'm safe in this thing. And then my hand in the very same spots got stung at the same time, or at least it felt like I got stung. So like sometimes if I feel something in my knee, I'll feel it in my elbow. It's kind of weird. I don't know if I'm going to film this perfectly, because my main priority is the bees. Second priority is got my little wagon here behind me. My second priority is making the video. So it's kind of hard to do two things at once. It looks like I'm from the Better Business Bureau. I don't know why this has a little, this white cloak has a little point on it. But anyways, so yeah, here's my little setup. I got a warning to stay clear of the bees. I got my hive on this table that I found on the side of the road. This helps so you know, it's a few feet off the ground. There's like a few natural predators, 1 being raccoons, 2 being ants. The ants can't really climb up there, and you can see that the bees are hard at work here. I got a little planter with some flowers. You're not supposed to really put the flowers nearby, because the bees will not want to like get really weighed down by all the pollen, because they can fly like 2 miles. So there's no point of getting it right here. But so let me set up this camera here. We got a few goals in this inspection. We might be expanding the hive a little bit. Okay. One thing that I got to make sure I do is put on gloves. My first inspection, I had a glove that had a big hole in it, and it really made me panic. So that's fine. You can see I got some tools. I keep that thing on me. This is a bee smoker. We're gonna smoke them out a little bit. I'm already disturbing them. The smoke smells a certain way. You can burn certain different types of scents, like lavender or whatever, but the smoke basically confuses them. They communicate through pheromones, and the smoke kind of overwhelms that. So I'm looking for, I mean, beekeeping's so crazy. Like I have Beekeeping for Dummies, and it's like 450 pages. So there's a lot to it. I'm just hoping that there's no pest in there. That's kind of what I'm checking for. And I'm going to see if it's time to expand. I got another hive box to expand it upwards. And basically you just burn this thing, and it gives off some smoke, and kind of the old-fashioned way, like my forefathers used to do it. Now, the positioning of the beehive, I kind of have it in the forest. It's in a slightly open area. I don't have a lot of open land here, and if I do, I used it for plants. So when I set up the hive, there was no leaves on the tree, so it was a little bit more sunny. But okay, I think I smoked them out enough. Now it's time. You can see them. Well, I can at least see them. They're all flying around me. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. It was stuck. God, Christ. Okay. All right, lots of capped comb here, or whatever it's called. I see some larvae there, so that means there is a queen laying eggs. That's good. Hopefully I didn't squish her by dropping it. Why I dropped it is because this little piece, there's a little bit of, you know, wax or whatever on the top that stuck to the ceiling. That was no good. Bees are kind of like, they're like liquid in a sense. You can like just grab a handful of bees and it's fun. Anyways, keep in mind, I am no expert. I'm like regurgitating things that I've heard, and I don't even know if they're all true. But yeah, so I know one thing. This is you gotta, not long strokes, just little flicks. All right. So I want to scrape this stuff off. Maybe I can use that later and smush it into a different frame. Bada bing, bada boom. One of my main goals here is I had an in-frame feeder and I want to start removing that. So it's basically like kicking your kids out the house when they're like, you know, 24. They got to get a real job. Yeah, this was once filled up with 1-to-1 sugar water. It's now empty, and it's time for them, look at, they're so cute. It's time for them to get their own sugar water through the nectar from native flowers. You don't want them to be so late, like they end up being lazy and just stay in the hive. So let's give it a check. Okay, so I don't think we need to expand just yet. This one on the end, obviously there's really nothing on it, a few bees. This one, same thing, only a few bees. This one again, not much, only a few bees. Now one thing, I think this is correct. So you don't want them to build a wonky comb like this, like 3D comb. You want it to be very intense, but you also don't want it to go to waste. So you kind of just smush that wax into the hive and then, or into the frame, and then they will reuse that. Look at my little baby bees. Okay, I see a beetle here. I don't know if that beetle just came or it was in there. Yeah, I'm looking for any kind of pests that shouldn't be in here. Is that the queen right there? See the queen at the bottom? I don't know. It's a little bit bigger than the other ones. That might... I mean, look at that, baby. And then on the other side, it's not as prominent. All right, since there's some, there's definitely some eggs in here. You want to keep this kind of towards the middle, because that's where the warmth is. I think that's a pretty good laying pattern. You can see, at least in the middle, there's a bunch of larvae all next to each other. I think, I don't know. Oh, I see the queen. There she is. She's, I've never seen the queen before. She's like somewhere by my thumb here. Where did she go? There she is, right there. Right by my thumb. Wow. Oh, you can see a little bee emerging. Very nice. And then look at this side. Oh. I mean, I'm no expert. I think this is a good sign. Okay, let's be very gentle with this one. Oh my Lord, what a piece of my... Oh, the ashes. I almost burned it. Look at this. Okay, this is a mistake. There's like a burn hole in the hive for the okay, that was user error. My bad. Bees. You see the queen and then you make them. I got distracted by the queen and her beauty. All right, let's light this one up. Now, one problem with this bee suit, I like to blow on the embers, but then there's this black screen mesh and I don't really recognize it as part of my being, and then I burn the mesh a little bit because I get too close. I mean, there's eggs all through this one. I see some smaller, like baby looking bees that must have just been born. Oh yeah, you can see one being birthed right now. Coming out right here by my thumb. You can notice it's green. This frame is a little bit different. This is for catching mites. So what will happen is the bees will tend to make, I think they're called drones. Where basically they're male bees that only purpose is to go out and mate with other queens. Really does help with the diversity. There's a lot of bees on this one. Now, one of the biggest problems are these type of mites, and the mites tend to want to be with the drones because they're bigger. The frame, you can see over here, the green part of the frame, these hexagons are a little bit bigger, which encourages the different type of bee, the drone bee, to be laid here. It's very cute. You can see some bees have like little orange pants on. That means they were going and getting nectar. I mean, this is so early, I can't really tell. I mean, there's only a few cells that are capped and whatnot, so... I think the mites come a little bit later in the season, so I'm just going to leave this one be, if you will. Again, I think there's another queen, but I just think I'm stupid and don't know what I'm looking at. Maybe they're like nurse bees or something. I've heard that if you're an amateur, maybe you shouldn't do this. You can like mess up your population by having a lot or too many drones or whatnot. Hold on. See, now on this thing, I just seen, look at this, there's two beetles right here. Like, they're literally having sex. I don't know if those are like beetles with the bees or they just landed there. But there's another beetle here. I think this is too many beetles. Okay, there's another beetle. Okay, that's an issue. I do have a trap for beetles like this. There's a lot of beetles here. I don't think that's great news. I have these little traps. I have to go back into my house to get them. Hopefully I don't take this guy with me. There's these little beetle traps that you basically put oil in and they can't get out of them. Yeah, I've seen way too many beetles for me to think that's normal. But they were all in here. Maybe they were just attracted to the sugar water. Okay, so this frame was on the edge. Just kind of encouraging to see them build it out a little bit. You can see that nectar flowing a little bit here. I think this is a good sign that they are growing. I installed them maybe a month and a half ago. I'm looking for any other kind of like beetles or anything like that. Maybe they were just attracted to the sugar water. But I'm going to put that beetle trap in regardless. So now I got two fresh frames to replace the feeder that I took out. You don't want any kind of space in between. In my hive, I have this bottom board that collects all the bee shit and debris and all the extra garbage, basically. I like to clean that every so often. Don't really see any pests or anything. Something just make a Yogi Bear out in the forest, just made a snap, twig snap. Yeah, see there, another one of those beetles. Another one of the beetles. Yeah, there's a beetle problem. Maybe I can limit so there's a limiter right here for the entrance. I opened it up a little bit. I think I'm going to make it smaller so the bees can defend the entrance a little bit better. Maybe I opened it up too early. But you live and you learn. All right, so you can see this is their entrance to the hive. That's some pollen on their pants. You can see the little orange, that's cool. Sorry if my camera work is not the best. You can flip this over and then their limiter will be maybe only an inch or so they can get in and out. So let's do that. I just saw a dead beetle at the hive, so maybe they are defending a little bit. So that's good. So just one more time. This was their entrance. We're gonna limit it to just this, and they can defend from pests. I don't. Not exactly sure if that's good or bad to do right now since I had it open so big. Maybe that's why the beetles got in the first place. But we're gonna live and we're gonna learn. All right, guys, we're back. Got the traps. Basically, you just put these on top of the frames, fill them with olive oil, and the beetles can get in there, but the bees cannot. So, pretty simple. Let's do it. All right, so I put the traps on the edges. I didn't feel like they fit really good here. If in between the frames, if they did, I would have to expand the frames a little bit, and you don't want to do that because then they're going to fill in that gap with their comb, and it's just better to have it nice and tight. So we have one here, one here. Hopefully it does the job. I wonder if this one wait, maybe this one should be the opposite way, hanging off the edge and like getting it. Hold on, it's so hard. I'm sorry my filming was just like static on that one side. Like I said, I'm more prioritizing the work than the filming, but I know people want to see this, so yeah, I didn't want the plastic hanging out here. It just locks on actually perfectly right there. So I'm assuming that's how it's supposed to be. We got an old pollen patty. They can continue to have that. Clean up that debris. I think we have a good inspection. We identified, I think, the queen. We have take care of some pests with the beetle traps and remove some of the extra comb and whatnot that was being built up here and on the sides. We're not going to expand the second box. They still have a few frames that they can build out. We changed the limiter just because we saw that there was beetles in there. We removed the sugar feeder and or the sugar water feeder, in-frame feeder, and replaced those with some frames. I think this is a pretty good inspection. I don't want to continue disturbing the bees, so let's get this wrapped up real quick here and put the top on. Top. That's fine. Okay. There we are. Here's the top. There's a smushed bee. Let's get that guy out of there. There's a big mosquito. Let's get that guy out of there. That's not a natural predator to the bees. What's it doing there? Just wants to join the content. Another fucking beetle. Kill its ass. There's like some kind of inchworm or something. No, thank you. You're not welcome here. Put that on top. Then we put a nice rock on top to kind of so no animals can get in there. I do have a little animal trap right here. It has not been activated. Haven't seen anyone kind of mess with this yet, so that's good to see. I mean, the beetles are one thing, but if a raccoon gets into here, that's a whole nother ordeal. I think it being 2 feet off the ground will keep the raccoons from being here. All right, boys. Now we just kind of have to wait for the bees to expand and build out those frames. I literally have 2 beetles having sex right on my phone here. So let's kill them. And yes, I think that's gonna pretty much do this inspection. We're gonna have to wait a few weeks before we inspect it again. You don't want to inspect and inspect and inspect. One mistake I did during my second inspection, I thought I made a mistake, and then I came back the next day to try to fix that mistake, and you disturb the bees too much, they're going to abstain, which they just say, this ain't worth it, we're just gonna leave. So you don't want to overdo it. So it's kind of one of those things where you want to just check on your bees and see if they're doing okay, but you just kind of have to wait. Like I said, guys, maybe I made some mistakes. If you guys have any pointers, please let me know. Why does my bee suit get so dirty? Is this from the Hive tools? Anyways, I'm just kind of regurgitating things that I learned. I kind of just jumped into it. There is a lot to unpack and to learn about these things. They're like their own, ecosystem. They're their own kind of life form. Not only the individual bees, but the hive as a whole. And yeah, so there we have it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. It's been your host with the most, B-Boy 7th Street. Not really scared of the bees at all. There was one time, I think one tried to sting my glove. I kind of like flicked it off, but other than that, I feel pretty safe in the suit. And then when I see them out and about, unless they go right by your ear, something like, it sounds like the bees are like right next to you sometimes when they're really like bugs in general. It's kind of scary. But yeah, these are the type of bee I got was like some kind of just regular honeybee. It seemed like it was a easier type of breed to deal with. They're not really aggressive. They don't like to leave too much. They might not be the best for the cold weather that we experience up here in Wisconsin, but we will see about that when the time comes. So that's my little bee setup here in the forest, man on the land. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, it's been your host with the most, White Boy. Anything, I didn't see many dead bees at the bottom there. It's about to rain the next few days, so I don't think you necessarily need to clean the dead bees out. If it gives them something to do, they basically just bring them out here. Like you can see, there's a dead one. This guy's I hope I didn't do that. Maybe I did. I think I definitely squished a few at first by lifting it up with the comb. But I should have noticed that the top was way heavier than it normally is. I will going forward. And I almost burned down the fucking hive with this smoker there. That was that was my bad. But other than that, yeah, we're good. We're gonna leave these bees alone. We're gonna hopefully they behave, and I hope you be well. On my path back, you can see all the forget-me-nots in the forest floor. There's millions and millions and millions of those around there, so I'm not too concerned about removing the sugar water. I did give them that pollen patty. I had actually another pollen patty to give them because it's got to be cold. I don't think the next few days. This was the last nice day to inspect them. It's supposed to rain the next few days, so overall I think that went well. I didn't like to see the beetles there, but I do have the beetle trap ready to go. I'm just kind of wondering how the beetle traps work, because you don't want to give them too much space, but the beetle trap didn't seem to fit without giving it more space, so that's why I put it on the edge. What the hell? That's not a bee. It's like a crab. You see the spider doing like a crab stance? What the hell is that doing there? It's like, oh, it just flung off. It was in defensive positions. It's getting a little hot in this bee suit. We're doing two things at once. We're making a video and we're bringing this back home. I heard that if you just keep a beehive out and about, like, you can capture like wild swarms. I also heard you can like rent your bees to like a apple orchard or something when they need help pollinating the trees. Personally, I just like I have a little apple orchard. I'll give you a little man on the land if you guys watch all the way to the end. Here's probably one of my best looking apple trees. Looking pretty good. Some of them got ate by some deer. I've not seen flowers on them, so I don't know if I'm gonna get any apples this year. It's been like year 3, so I mean, we need some apples at some point. All right, so I brought the gorilla cart in. All right, what I was saying earlier, this fucking beehive. Like, what's the point of this little extra? It's like repurposed from the clan or something. All right, did I get all my hive tools? I got these, and then there should be one with a J. Yep, there's a J one. Boom. Didn't really use the hive tools. Probably should have. Maybe would have prevented that. Should have used the J tools or the hive tools a little bit more, perhaps. Whatever, the hands work too. No bees on me, no stingers in me. Maybe that's why one of them was like keeled over at the entrance. I think it tried to sting me, and then it used its one load, its one noob tube, and it didn't explode. I had flak jacket on. Thank you guys for watching. It's been your host with the most. All right, I can't do it. White boy 7-3 headbutt. Oh, well, you know what I mean. Oh. Bees. Got some chickens, got some bees, got some chickens, got some bees, got some apples, got some bees, got some chickens at the ABCs. Got some D's. What's a D? I don't know. What's a D? Dill? Yeah, doesn't seem as good. All right, this was 48 minutes. Probably edit it down to like 20 minutes. Last time. Okay, bye. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it.